Nomi.
Yes, big brother. Basically.
For being considerably late for today's Head of House challenge. You will sit this one out.
Okay, big brother.
Kindly take a seat. Abby. Bench warmer. Do you understand?
No, big brother.
I pick Godessa.
Sarah's face.
Do you accept?
No, big brother.
Head of House games and nominations. So the Head of House games today came with a lot of twists, turns, laughters, shocks, and the very unexpected rejection. Anyway, let's get into it. First of all, a very big congratulations to Abby for becoming the Head of House this week. Of course, she was in the final round with Chimsom, as you know, and eventually came up tops to be Head of House this week. But even before we got a chance to celebrate that victory, Big Brother had it waiting for Nomi. Anyway, you know how he would announce Head of House and then Benchwarmer of the Week, and he just goes, Nomi, by default, you are the Benchwarmer for this week. She was standing up, of course. Do you understand? Nomi says no. Well, Big Brother said nothing. He just continued to Abby to pick the name of the person for the Loft. So she went on, she picked the name, and it was Nomi. I didn't understand that reaction. Maybe she was excited, maybe she was indifferent, I don't know. And she gets up. Big Brother would usually ask you if you accept. And so he asked her, Nomi, do you accept? And she went, I don't know. It's either a yes or a no. You're not going in or you're not going in. What is Big Brother supposed to respond? Anyway, Big Brother just told Abby to go ahead and pick the next name, which she did. Picked the next name, and it was Barry. Barry gets up. Barry, you know the drill. Of course, he accepts, and he's going to pick Godessa. But first, he took a minute. He thought about it. And then he went, Godessa. Big Brother says, Godessa. She stands up. Yes, Big Brother. Do you accept? This was the plot twist. This is where all the drama happened. What's going on here? Just say yes or no. She took a few seconds. I'm wondering what was going through her head that time. What were you thinking? And next thing she went, no. Everybody was shocked. Everybody was surprised. I heard the housemate say, what? Plot twist? What is going on, girl? We know you flirt with Barry every second, every chance you get. I get it. You're with Araga, right? So you wanted to prove to him because Araga warned her yesterday after the show. Remember, during the eviction show, Ebuka asked Araga, do you trust Barry? And he went, I don't see him. And I know Barry intentionally pulled the you see me stunt on him. You know, it's like, now you see me. You claim you don't see me. Now you see me. And after that eviction, Shuraga had called Godessa and asked her, why did Ebuka ask me about Barry? She said, I don't know. And he told her straight, I don't want to see you with Barry. Then today, you now call me to join you in the Loft. If I say yes, that it will be quite tricky for her. I'm sure it was tricky for her because first, she may think she'll be spoiling her game. Secondly, where does that keep both of you? You know, so I knew it was a little for her, but let me just hold this on while I hold Sin. So that's what happened. She said no. So that was a shocker. Like, what's going on? I was laughing. Even Barry was surprised, but okay. So he went on to pick Blue. Blue, do you accept? Of course she does. She was dancing. She gets to eat grapes, at least drink wine. She was happy about it. Oh yeah, you needed to see Araga's face. That little smirk on his face. He just felt like the man, felt like a real man. You know what it is when you're chasing my babe in front of everybody and me, and she says no. It was such a big moment, trust me. So Big Brother wasn't done. Abby didn't just win the head of house. You know it comes with immunity. But Big Brother went on to say, because you were the best in your team and you won the head of house, you have won your team immunity. Meaning both Abby and all our team members had immunity for the week, automatically putting the losing team up for possible eviction. And then Big Brother called Chimsum. He stood up. For being the best player in your team, you have immunity. At this point, everybody was celebrating. Chimsum was dancing, jumping up and down. And then it was time for nominations. You may now go inside, of course. Then, housemates, you have 5 minutes. Then, nomination time. Housemates gather in the lounge immediately. So they are all seated. Unlike the other weeks where everyone is allowed to conspire. But because it was 2 teams for their games, 1 losing, 1 winning team, Big Brother asked the winning team to go to the conspiracy zone, conspire to save 2 housemates. Of course, they had 10 minutes to deliberate and come up with 2 names. And they did. Of course, everybody went around trying to negotiate, bring up their faves names, you know, all of that. But in the end, you know, they always walk in and do what they want to do. So they came back to the lounge and it was time to nominate. So the same housemates from the winning team only went into the diary room, and then one after the other gave Big Brother the names of who they want to save. This time, just 2 names, okay? And the housemates they saved was Bells and Blue. Mind you, while nominations were ongoing, we see Nomi standing by the diary room door. Obviously, she wanted to talk to Big Brother, but I'm like, Nomi, this is not the time. Nominations are going on. You're supposed to be part of this activity. You're supposed to be here participating with them. And because they were going to use the diary room for the housemates to come give the names, Big Brother had to respond and say, Nomi, you will be attended to later. I would think she would normally go back to join her housemates, but no, she climbed upstairs. And from their lips, we read, oh, is she packing her things? Oh, she's packing her things. So was that you trying to go get voluntary exits? Because what exactly is happening here? Is it so hard to be humble? Is it so hard to just obey an instruction? This is not your housemate's instruction. This is not your housemates commanding you or ordering you to do something. This is Big Brother. Girl, you can have fun with this thing. Come on. Why are you making it so difficult? Acting like you don't know why you are the bench warmer for the new week when you actually did not wear your outfit. Throughout last week, you wore it when you liked. You never sat on that bench. Never. Not once. Come on. Anyway, moving on. Bells and Blue were safe, and it was time for the head of house, Abby, to use her veto power. Big Brother calls her to the diary room and gave us another twist. Big Brother told her that since Bells and Blue were saved, Abby had to add 3 names from her team for possible eviction. Well, she went Yusuf, Araga, and Aiku. I'm like, yo! After Yusuf deliberated, tried to convince them to save Bells. So, was I swap? Save Bells, put me up? Oh! Anyway, so these people, Yusuf, Araga, Aiku, had to join Tram, Cassie, Temi and Kim, Godessa, and Gerard. Of course, all of them are now up for possible eviction. And you know the funniest? Aiku is a gambit. And they don't know. Ouch. Now I was thinking, Big Brother, would you announce to the housemates, or you just let the viewers see, hear, and vote? Because she's supposed to reveal that information on Sunday. And I think it's nice that they don't even know they're up for eviction. It makes them still be themselves, still do what they're supposed to do, put in the effort, and do you get what I mean? Unlike the people who know, and that information keeps them unstable or uncomfortable. Or, every second you're thinking, oh my God, am I possibly leave on Sunday? And it just demoralizes you some type of way. But in the end, Big Brother did not announce the final housemates up for possible eviction. But of course, watching, we know who they are and who are you saving. So after all the twists, the head of house wins, the rejections, Godessa rejecting Barry, Nomi not knowing if she wants to stay in the loft, Barry picking blue, the team's immunity, Chimsom's individual immunity, Nomi's mysterious diary room situation. By the way, Big Brother called her after the nomination show. And the conspiracy twist. We finally got our possible eviction list. So now, like I asked earlier, who are you saving this week? And did you expect Godessa to reject Barry's invitation?